Revealed. The Hidden Life of Alexander VI, a touching transformation of an inspiring legacy. In a small, forgotten town, Alex Rodriguez, a name that would eventually resonate beyond the confines of cheap paint and crumbling walls, carried the dreams of many on his weary shoulders. At just 22, he was a beacon of passion, trapped in a relentless loop of low-wage jobs and community college classes. His scrappy neighborhood told stories of struggle, yet it was the unwavering support of his grandmother that stoked the fire within him. She had shown him beauty in hardship, teaching him that dreams were worth the fight. But how could he even begin to break free from the chains of family expectations? His parents, their faces etched with worry and resignation, pressured him to abandon his brushes and canvases, urging him to find stable work. "Money doesn't grow on trees, Alex," they would say, echoing the very fears that had haunted them for years. Tension crackled in their home, palpable and suffocating, as every dinner devolved into awkward silence or sharp words. Torn between his love for art and the desperate plea for practicality, Alex felt as if he were dangling over a precipice, barely managing to hold on. Every morning, with paint-stained hands and a heart that ached for self-expression, he would clock into his dead-end job. As paint splattered on his jeans, he found solace in the local community center every evening. There, he connected with kids eager to learn, pouring out his love for art in every colorful project. He was their hero, their mentor, and most importantly, he was reminded of why he started: to inspire and create. Then, tragedy struck. Flames consumed the community center in a single, devastating night. Smoke filled the air that morning, mingling with the choking grief of loss. Alex stood frozen, watching as the place that had been a haven for his dreams flickered and crumbled. His heart tightened at the thought of the kids. Where would they go now? Each flicker of flame became a reminder of the dreams being erased, leaving a hollow ache in his spirit. Gathering his resolve, Alex dove headfirst into organizing fundraising efforts to rebuild the center. He knew this was more than a building. It was a lifeline for the community. Each conversation with townsfolk revealed their stories of resilience, tales of sacrifice and heartache that echoed his own family's struggles. They needed hope, and Alex realized he could be the one to give it to them. As he donned his artist's cap, he ignited the determination within himself, pursuing not just reconstruction, but healing. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As donations poured in and the community rallied to support the rebuild, Alex felt the weight of unresolved conflicts at home intensify. Just as he saw a flicker of recognition from the townspeople, shadows of doubt crept in. Could he truly defy the odds, bridge the gap with his parents, and honor the legacy of hard work his grandmother instilled in him? Standing on the brink of giving up, a spark ignited within, a reminder of the family values that had shaped him. With the grand reopening of the community center looming, all eyes would soon be on him. Would he find the courage to showcase not just his art, but the stories of resilience woven through the town? The moment of truth tantalized him. But could he rise from the ashes, transform his pain into inspiration, and redefine the meaning of legacy for himself and his family? The answer hung in the air, the promise of change just a heartbeat away. In the days leading up to the reopening of the community center, Alex poured every ounce of himself into preparations. Each morning, he woke up feeling both exhilarated and terrified. The center represented not just a fresh coat of paint over burnt wood, but a chance to reshape the narrative of his life and the lives of those around him. He spent countless hours painting murals, each stroke telling a story. One wall depicted a phoenix rising from flames, a symbol of resilience. The kids who once gathered at the center watched in awe as their mentor transformed the bare walls into a gallery of hope and dreams. They tugged at his sleeves, eyes wide with excitement. "Can you add me?" a girl named Sophia asked, her voice barely a whisper, full of anticipation. Alex smiled, his heart swelling. "Of course, you're part of this story." And in that moment, He realized that he was no longer alone in this fight. They were all painting their future together. Yet, nights weren't as easy. As he laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, the echo of his parents' concerns filled the silence. They worried about his lofty dreams and the unpredictable path of art. Just be practical, Alex. Art won't pay the bills. Their words replayed painfully in his mind. Could he paint a future for them too, one where their son wasn't struggling but thriving? On the day of the grand reopening, excitement crackled in the air, mingling with the scent of fresh paint. The townsfolk began to gather, flowing in like color into a blank canvas. Murmurs filled the space as people caught sight of the vibrant murals. It was as if each panel sparked a connection, igniting shared emotions that had been dormant for too long. As the crowd thickened, Alex's heart raced. He stood at the entrance, clad in a simple t-shirt bearing a colorful heart, nervous energy coursing through him. His beloved grandmother's words circulated in his mind. Shine your light, mi querido. He was determined to do just that. When it was time for the official unveiling, he stepped up to the mic. His voice wavered as he began. Thank you all for being here today. This center is not just a building. It is a testament to resilience, love, and community. He looked out at the sea of familiar faces, hope and uncertainty intertwined in their expressions. But just as he reached the climax of his speech, he noticed his parents standing at the back, their faces a blend of concern and pride. A part of him wanted to pause, to shout out that this was just as much for them as it was for the kids. Instead, he pushed. This place will be a sanctuary for anyone who feels alone. Here, we paint our dreams together. Cheers erupted, and relief washed over him. People clapped, and the children shouted, "Thank you, Alex." It was a defining moment, a bridge built not just for the community, but perhaps, just maybe, for his own family too. But as the festivities unfolded, Alex noticed the tension in his parents' eyes. It flicked like a candle in the wind. That unspoken worry still lingered. Would they ever fully understand his journey? As the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow, Alex felt a tug in his heart. He had brought life back to a place he loved, but could he also mend the fabric of his family? The question lingered, powerful and raw. What would it take for him to finally be seen not just as the dreamer, but as someone who could weave his passion into stability? The night closed in, and Alex stood by the mural, heart pounding. He could feel his parents' gazes, heavy with expectation and unrelenting love. Would he finally have the courage to confront their fears and his own? As the world outside melted into shadows, Alex knew one thing for sure. The battle for understanding was far from over, and tonight might just hold the key to unraveling it all. The night unfolded with laughter and warmth, but for Alex, a chill lingered beneath the surface. As the crowd celebrated, his parents stood back, watching with a mix of pride and apprehension that felt like a weight on his chest. He excused himself from the throng of excited children and chatting adults, slipping away from the noise. The cool evening air greeted him as he wandered to the edge of the park, the soft rustle of leaves creating a rhythm that calmed his racing heart. He needed a moment to gather himself, to breathe. The community center now sparkled under the stars, its vibrant colors a stark contrast to the dark sky. The Phoenix mural dramatically captured the light, a light with possibility. It was a mirror of his own journey. But that same energy was met by the shadows creeping in from his past. Alex. A familiar voice broke through his thoughts. He turned to see Sophia running toward him, her laughter both infectious and bright. "Can you come paint again tomorrow? I want to help more." He knelt down to her level, the innocence in her eyes filling him with joy. "Of course. We'll add more stories to our wall." As they chatted, Alex caught glimpses of his parents watching nearby. Their expressions shifted, confusion mingling with a yearning to understand. He stood up, feeling the push and pull within himself. Could he bridge the divide? Could he paint with words what his heart could no longer hold? "Hey, Sophia," he said, kneeling again to meet her gaze. "What do you think makes a home?" The question danced in the air. She thought for a moment, then replied, "When everyone feels safe and loved, like a big hug." He chuckled, her answer warming his soul. But in that tiny moment, a realization flickered through him. What if home was more than just a place? What if it was around him, in the laughter, the love, and even the uncertainty? With a newfound sense of clarity, he approached his parents. The crowd may have been celebrating, but for Alex, this was the moment that mattered most. "Mama, Papa," he began, voice steady but layered with emotion. Their eyes met, and he felt the gravity of it. "I need you to know why I'm doing this. Why this place means everything to me." They stepped closer, expressions softening. For the first time, he saw a glimmer of understanding amid the worried as he spoke. He painted them a picture with his words, of late nights designing murals that made children smile, of laughter echoing through the center, of a safe space where everyone could belong. Each sentence released some tension, like gentle strokes softening hard edges. He could feel their walls starting to lower, but just as he thought he might reach them, the familiar shadows crept back into his thoughts. What if they couldn't see his dream as clearly as he did? "Alex," his father finally said, his voice filled with vulnerability. "We've always wanted you to be happy," but the weight of those words hung heavily. Their love was undeniable, yet fear still echoed in them like the remnants of a melody that never quite ended. "I just want you to think about your future," his mother added, concern etching her brow. The knot in Alex's stomach tightened. "But what if this is my future?" Silence enveloped them for a beat that felt like eternity. The world faded away, the cheers, the dancing, and all that existed was this moment of truth. Alex could feel hearts racing around them, a silent plea. Would they understand that the art he created was not just paint on walls, but a lifeline to a different life? As the stars blinked above, Alex knew he needed them to see the flame inside, the fires they had feared. But could he transform their worry into faith? He took a deep breath and continued, "Tonight is just the beginning, and I need you with me on this journey." Beneath the glow of the community center, shadows deepened, leaving Alex with one burning question. If he could paint his dreams, could he also reframe his family's vision, turn their fears into a shared canvas of hope? The moment stretched on, thick with unspoken words and heavy expectations. Alex felt the silence wrap around him, an intimate embrace full of potential and dread. His heart raced as he searched his parents' faces for any sign of understanding. "Alex," his mother whispered, breaking the stillness. "We just worry about your happiness. We've always wanted you to have a secure future. And that's just it." He blurted out, frustration mixing with passion. "I feel secure when I'm here. This is my future. This is where I belong." His father shifted, staring past him at the lights twinkling down the street, as if searching for something he couldn't find. "We just don't understand how this will." Alex cut him off, urgency rising in his chest. "You don't have to understand everything right now. Just trust me enough to see what we're building together. A space where kids can feel safe, where they can dream, where they can find hope." His voice cracked slightly, vulnerability spilling out. Sophia's earlier statement resonated in him, and he believed it now more than ever. Home was where love thrived, not just in buildings, but in hearts and spirits. "Alex," his father struggled with his words as if they were tangled in the air between them. "I'm trying to create a home not just for me, but for everyone," Alex implored. "It's more than paint and murals. It's community. It's family. Look around." He gestured toward the park, where families shared meals, kids played tag under the stars, and laughter rang like music. Hope glittered in the atmosphere, and he wanted them to see it too. "Mama, Papa," Alex began softly, "you've always taught me to follow my heart and work hard. This is me working hard. It's not about settling. It's about making something meaningful." His mother's gaze softened, her brow unwrinkling as she finally stepped closer. "We just worry," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We don't want you to struggle." "Sometimes struggle is part of the journey," Alex replied, feeling a warmth spread through him. "I just want you both to see that." They stood in a circle of fragile hope, their hearts beating in sync, even if they were on different pages. In that shared moment of understanding, Alex saw a flicker of acceptance in their eyes. "What if we come by tomorrow, to see how it all works?" His father suggested tentatively. Alex felt a rush of gratitude. "Really? You do that?" His mother nodded, a small smile creeping onto her lips. "If this means so much to you, we'll be there." Tears prickled at the corners of his eyes, a mix of relief and joy swelling within him. "Thank you. That means everything." As they hugged, enveloping each other in a tight circle of love, a gust of wind rustled the leaves, carrying laughter from the crowd back to them. "Hey, Sophia," he called out, beckoning her over. She trotted up, her face still lit with excitement. Guess what? Our family is coming to see our mural tomorrow. Really? That is awesome. She squealed, jumping in place. As the night wore on, laughter and chatter resumed. But something had shifted in Alex. The foundation beneath his dreams felt a little more solid. Yet as he looked over at the mural, vibrant with color yet unfinished, an echo of doubt whispered to him. What if they didn't fully support him? What if he couldn't bring everyone together like he'd hoped? With those thoughts trailing closely behind him, a new day loomed ahead. One filled with both promise and uncertainty. Could he really build this bridge? As the stars began to fade with the onset of dawn, Alex prepared for the challenges of tomorrow. Change was coming, and he could feel it in his bones. But first, he would have to confront the shadows once more and see if love would triumph in the light of a new day. As dawn's first light seeped through the trees, Alex felt a mix of excitement and dread. The familiar sounds of the waking neighborhood washed over him, the cheerful barks of dogs, the distant hum of cars, and the laughter of children echoing in the air. It was a symphony of life that fueled his determination, reminding him how much was at stake. He spent the morning preparing the mural site. Each brushstroke felt like a step toward something greater, a promise that he wasn't just painting walls, but building a community. But with every splash of color, doubt tugged at him. What if his parents didn't really get it? What if they left feeling disappointed, thinking their son's dream was just another phase? Sophia joined him, her energy infectious. Look at it shine. It's gonna be amazing, she beamed, her eyes wide with admiration as she added her own touches to the mural. Her belief infused him with hope. She saw something special here, and he wished his parents could see it too. Hey, so what are you thinking about showing them? She asked casually, but he could see her own anxiety creeping through. The process, the people, everything. He responded, trying to mask the uncertainty in his voice. I want them to feel the pulse of this place. As the sun climbed higher, families began to gather. Kids skipped up the paths, faces painted with excitement. Laughter filled the air, echoing the joy Alex foresaw in his vision. He caught glimpses of his parents approaching from a distance, his heart racing. They looked slightly out of place, colors muted against the vibrancy surrounding them. Okay, here we go, he whispered to himself, straightening his posture as he greeted them with a smile. The jingle of laughter and the smell of fresh paint mingled around him. Wow, this is something else, his father said, his eyebrows raising as they stepped into this world Alex had created. His mother glanced at her surroundings, taking in every detail, and Alex felt her hesitance. Come on, I want to show you what it's all about, he said, guiding them through the crowd. He introduced them to neighbors and families, sharing stories of how the mural was born from a simple idea to a community movement. In those moments of connection, he saw his parents' expressions shift from apprehension to curiosity. Maybe they were beginning to understand. But then he looked at the mural, unfinished yet filled with promise. Would that be enough to erase their doubts? Do you see them? Sophia said, tugging at his sleeve. They're actually smiling. Alex's gaze followed hers. His parents were laughing, engaged in conversation. The warmth of that moment wrapped around him like a comforting blanket. But then, beneath it, a flicker of anxiety sparked within him. Guys, can you help us with this part? He asked, motioning toward an empty section of the mural. I want you to be a part of it. He was asking them not just to witness his dream, but to contribute to it. Us. Paint. His mother laughed nervously, but there was a light in her eyes. It was a shy invitation to join him on this journey. Why not? It's about family. He grinned, heart racing as they approached the wall. As the colors blended together with their brushes, laughter replaced the shadows of doubt. The mural was becoming a canvas for memories, not just art. But just as his parents began to let go of their hesitation, a sudden shout broke through the laughter. Hey, look what I found. A boy ran up, holding a scrappy drawing, a representation of the mural he had seen being made. The boy's eyes lit up, mirroring the very spark Alex had felt when he first envisioned this place. That moment brought a hush over the crowd. Alex exchanged glances with his parents, a question lingering in the air. Did they see it? The potential the boy held, the joy that radiated from the connections being forged. Could they now understand the true impact this mural, this community, this dream could have? As the day turned into afternoon, Doubt still stalked him, but hope surged even stronger. What could happen if they truly embraced this? Tomorrow would be a fresh canvas, and Alex was ready to paint his future. But he couldn't shake the feeling that something crucial was still waiting to be revealed. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden hue over the mural, and the atmosphere crackled with energy. Alex felt a pull in his chest, a blend of nerves and excitement as the crowd buzzed around him. His parents knelt by the mural, their brushes sweeping across the surface with newfound confidence. It was a sight he never thought he'd see, and it filled him with a warmth that fought against the creeping doubts. Could this really be enough? As laughter and paint splattered everywhere, Alex stepped back to take it all in. Kids darted around with painted faces, some smudged, others artistic masterpieces in their own right. He could hear Sophia chatting with other young artists, her laughter cutting through his thoughts like a beam of light. But then, a familiar voice sliced through the noise, pulling his attention back to his parents. "Look at this. I feel like a kid again," his father chuckled, smudging paint on his cheek. That childlike joy radiated from him, and Alex couldn't help but grin. His mother added, "I can't believe we've never done this before." Together, Alex's heart swelled. Maybe they were seeing his vision, not just the mural, but the fabric of this community he had dreamt of. It was about connection, after all. As colors blended on the wall, something began to shift within his parents, a blossoming understanding that perhaps he had been right all along. But just as he began to feel reassured, a familiar face entered the scene: Ryan, the local artist who had mentored Alex back when dreams were just whispers. Ryan approached with a knowing smile, his eyes twinkling with admiration as he surveyed the mural. "This is amazing, Alex. You've really brought people together." Ryan's presence triggered a wave of nostalgia. Memories of late-night talks about dreams and doubts flooded in. "Thank you," Alex replied, feeling gratitude swell in his chest. "I couldn't have done it without the support of everyone." "Exactly," Ryan boomed, turning to the crowd. "This is what art does. It connects us, grounds us, and shows us our place in a bigger picture." Suddenly, the crowd erupted with applause, the sound echoing against the walls of the surrounding houses. Alex stood speechless, the overwhelming tide of encouragement washing over him. His parents' eyes glistened, shifting from surprise to genuine pride. Maybe Ryan was onto something. This was more than just art. It was a lifeline. "Simon, let us keep at it," Sophia exclaimed, rallying the kids around her. The energy ignited once more, and in that moment, Alex felt every worry lift. But as they painted, another voice called out, "Hey, can I help too?" A shy girl with bright red pigtails stepped forward, a quiet determination etched on her face. She held a small paintbrush as if it were a sword, ready to conquer the world. "Yes, the more, the merrier," Alex said, beckoning her to join them. The invitation felt monumental. It didn't just open the doors to a new participant. It reflected a theme that was becoming clearer with each passing moment. They weren't just creating a mural. They were cultivating a connection, a sense of belonging. As the evening drew near, the painted section of the wall was a cacophony of colors, laughter, and stories. But just then, Alex noticed the sun setting, throwing long shadows that seemed to pull at his heart. Would there be enough time to finish? The thought lodged itself in his mind, an echo of the uncertainty he had tried to banish. In that quiet, glowing moment, Alex realized he needed to embrace both the beauty and the fragility of this journey. Could he truly capture what this meant for him? And could he share his fears with those who mattered most? Tomorrow would bring new opportunities, more colors, and deeper connections. But right now, as the sun dipped below the horizon, he felt a question pulse within him, begging to be answered. Was he ready for whatever came next? The chill of evening settled around the mural as the last drops of sunlight melted away. As people began to gather their things, packing away brushes and paint cans, a quiet excitement lingered in the air. Alex's heart raced, not just from the thrill of the day, but from the weight of the unspoken words swirling in his mind like vibrant paint on a palette. "Alex," Sophia called, her voice bright amidst the soft murmurs of wrapping up. He turned to see her coming toward him, her face alive with inspiration. "You see what we did? This is just the beginning. We can paint even more tomorrow. Imagine." Her enthusiasm was contagious. Alex couldn't help but smile back, the walls of uncertainty he had built within him starting to crumble. Yet, something gnawed at him. Would tomorrow bring the clarity he so desperately sought? Yeah, I can't wait, he replied, though his voice lacked conviction. He watched as the others gathered around, their excitement a gentle reminder of the joy they had shared. But while they were busy planning vibrant designs for the next day, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the brink of something more profound. As night fully descended, the crowd dispersed, leaving behind scattered brushes, a few paint-splattered smocks, and the electric aftermath of creativity. Alex's parents lingered near the mural, studying their work like they were deciphering a secret. He approached them, unsure how to voice his hidden turmoil. "Hey, everything okay?" his mother asked, her eyes searching his. "Yeah, just thinking," he hesitated, weighing his words. "This feels like there's something bigger happening here, but I'm not sure if I'm up for it." His father smiled gently. "You've already done so much, son. We're proud of you, but it's okay to feel uncertain." His father's reassurance warmed him but also deepened the ache inside. Was he truly ready to embrace the next step? But what if I'm not enough for what is coming? What if I mess things up? His mother took a step closer, her hand resting on his shoulder. "Alex, it's okay not to have all the answers. Sometimes, starting is the hardest part. And with every brushstroke, you're stepping into something new. You've already created a connection. That's the most important legacy." As those words sank in, the weight of expectations slowly lifted. He suddenly realized the mural wasn't just about art. It was about growth, empathy, and community. It had the potential to spark change, to inspire belief in themselves. "I just want everyone to feel like they belong," he whispered. His parents nodded, their expressions filled with understanding. In that moment, Alex felt a surge of courage. Maybe he wasn't just painting colors on a wall. He was creating pathways for hearts to connect. In that case, Sophia chimed in, rejoining their group with a spark in her eye. "We need to share this with the whole neighborhood. We need to grow this love." "Exactly." Ryan appeared from the shadows, having lingered to listen. "Let us host a community block party. Celebrate what you've started here and invite everyone back for a bigger collaboration. It's only just begun." The thrill of the idea rushed through Alex, catching him off guard. A block party? His heart raced. It felt too big, too daring. But then again, maybe it was precisely what they needed. The chance for more voices, more experiences to join in. "Let us do it," he exclaimed, his voice stronger than he felt. Sophia cheered, and soon everyone joined in, tapping into the pulse of excitement. Yet even amidst the joy, a shadow of doubt whispered in his ear. Was he really ready for such a gathering? Could he handle the pressure of sharing his vision with the entire community? As they started making plans, his mind swirled with possibilities and fears. But deep down, Alex understood one thing. To create art that mattered, he had to embrace the chaos. Tomorrow would come with new brushes and colors, but it was up to him to paint the picture of his legacy. As the night enveloped them, Alex grasped hold of what lay ahead. What would happen next? The unknown loomed, like a blank canvas, waiting for the first stroke of paint. Would he take the plunge? Alex spent the night tossing and turning, the excitement of the block party battling with the nagging fear that kept him awake. He could almost see the mural, the colors, the faces, the stories intertwined, but he also felt the weight of every decision pressing down on him. What if no one showed up? What if the whole thing fell flat? The questions chased him through the dark until he finally fell into a restless sleep. Morning light spilled through his window, waking him gently. The day felt charged, buzzing with potential, but he still felt a flicker of doubt gnawing at him. "Okay, you can do this," he whispered to himself in the bathroom mirror, determination mingling with anxiety in his gaze. When he arrived at the mural site, he was taken aback by how many gathered. Families, children, friends, everyone was buzzing with excitement. They were ready to paint, to laugh, to connect. Sophia stood nearby, speaking animatedly with Ryan, and as soon as she saw Alex, she beckoned him over. "Alex, look at this. We're going to create a community mural. Everyone is invited to contribute." The enthusiasm in her voice radiated like sunlight breaking through clouds. His heart warmed at the sight of people picking colors, some already sketching their ideas on the pavement. Drawing emotions from their hearts, each brushstroke would speak 1,000 words, weaving them together into one vibrant tapestry. It was contagious. Wow, this is incredible, he exclaimed. Doubt slipped from his shoulders like a heavy coat. Ideas flowed, each one adding to the excitement of the moment. But as the crowd grew, so did the undercurrent of responsibility in him. What if I mess it up, he thought again. He needed to be a leader, not just an artist. He raised his voice and called everyone's attention. Hi everyone. I'm so glad you're here. This mural is for all of us, so feel free to express what this community means to you. A wave of applause followed, and Alex felt a rush of warmth flood through him. As he watched, families began to step forward. Little kids dipped their hands in paint, leaving imprints splattered across the wall, while others told stories of what they wanted to create. Each voice mattered, each story unique. He joined in, painting alongside them, watching as vibrant colors collided and combined in unexpected ways. Each stroke felt freeing, and Alex found himself laughing, the crowd as joy feeding his spirit. Every shared moment, every smile exchanged, felt like building a bridge from his doubt to a newfound connection. But as the sun climbed higher, the questions still clung to the edges of his mind. Sophia approached, concern etched on her face. You okay, Alex? You seemed a bit lost there for a moment. I am, he replied, wiping paint from his hands. It's just what if it's not enough? What if we miss the mark? She smiled, placing her hand on his arm. Look around you. This is more than enough. It's already happening, what you envisioned. People are feeling part of something bigger. Just go with it. Her words sank deep, grounding him. For a moment, he surrendered to the moment, breathing in the mingling sense of paint and warmth as laughter surrounded him, echoing the heart of community. Then, a commotion erupted. A local news crew had arrived, cameras in hand. They wanted to cover the mural project, recognizing it as a positive force in the neighborhood. The energy shifted, eyes widening in excitement. Yet Alex's heart raced at the thought of being in the spotlight. Alex, you should talk to them. This is your project. Ryan nudged him, pushing him toward the cameras. Yeah, you can do this. Sophia chimed in, confidence shimmering in her eyes. He hesitated, fear wrapping its tendrils around him once more. Was he ready for this? This moment felt monumental, yet terrifying. As he stepped forward, a surge of pursuit pushed him. This was his chance to voice the dreams that had simmered inside him. Everyone was counting on him, and he could either shrink back or take a stand. With the cameras rolling, Alex opened his mouth to speak. Would he capture their hearts? More importantly, would he finally capture his own? And then silence fell. The moment expanded like the canvas before him, a solitary breath before the storm of words. What would he say? Would he rise to this challenge? The silence hung thick in the air, every eye on him, every heartbeat louder than the last. Alex swallowed hard, his throat dry. The cameras felt like a spotlight, and for a moment, he wondered if he'd made a mistake coming forward. His mind raced through 1,000 potential failures, but right then, something shifted inside him. He grasped at the connection he felt with the crowd, the laughter, the splashes of color, and their stories. What I want to say, he began, his voice trembling but gradually gaining strength, is that this mural isn't just about art. It's about us. He paused, letting the words hang in the air, gathering momentum. It's about who we are as a community, he continued, feeling the warmth of encouragement roll in from the crowd, and what we can accomplish when we come together. The murmurs around him shifted, heads nodding in agreement, eyes brightening with hope. Each of you is bringing a piece of your heart here today, he added, gesturing toward the painting, now a swirling mix of colors and emotions. This canvas represents our stories, the joy, the struggles, the love we share. It's a reminder that even in tough times, we got each other. As he spoke, his own uncertainty began to melt away, replaced by a fire igniting within him. The fear transformed into hope, and he could see it mirrored on the faces around him. There was a collective nod of acknowledgement, a realization that this mural symbolized more than just paint on a wall. It was a celebration of their identities and aspirations. The crew filmed intently, capturing every shift in Alex's expression, every ounce of sincerity in his voice. The camera reflected something new: his courage. Let us make this mural a testament to our community's spirit, he exclaimed, and the cheers erupted like the fireworks of a 4th of July celebration. In that moment, a wave of energy pulsed through him. He wasn't just speaking words, he was inviting everyone to step into their power. Alex felt as though he were part of something monumental. Unexpectedly, hands rose in waves, eager contributors seeking to share their stories in paint and color. Sophia's eyes sparkled as she cheered. "Let us show them what we can do." The crowd responded with a renewed vigor, voices blending into a chorus of excitement. Children skipped to the wall with freshly dipped brushes, and elders began sharing tales that colored their past, and Alex felt a river of inspiration flow around him as the mural continued to take shape. The local news team asked questions, capturing interviews with participants about their contributions and heart behind it. They filmed the connections blossoming among neighbors who exchanged smiles and laughter, recounting how long it had been since they gathered like this. The sense of community had become a living thing. Hours flew by in the vibrant atmosphere of paint and joy. Alex moved from group to group, helping spread paint and ideas, feeling each moment dissolve the last of his lingering fears. The mural was transforming, not just with strokes, but with heart. But even amidst the joy, the flickering doubts of whether he could truly lead loomed overhead as the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden hue over the mural. Alex felt a subtle shift in the air. The evening was drawing to a close, but the day felt far from over. There was something unspoken, a sense that this gathering had struck a deeper chord. Ryan approached him, wiping sweat from his brow and grinning widely. "Man, you really nailed that speech. You're a natural leader." "Thanks, but it was everyone, not just me," Alex replied, glancing back at the painting coming to life behind him. But deep inside, the question gnawed at him again. Could he keep this momentum going? Could he really help nurture this community beyond just one mural, beyond one day? And in that moment of uncertainty, he caught Sophia's eyes across the expanse of paint and laughter. She gave him a reassuring smile, one filled with hope. With that, Alex was steeled for the road ahead, whatever it held. But as they looked out over the mural, still a work in progress, still a canvas of stories waiting to be painted, the door to another possibility opened wide. What else could they create together, and what challenges awaited them as they ventured down this path of connection and purpose? There was so much more to explore, and as the final strokes were laid, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Was he ready for whatever came next, ready to lead the community into a vibrant future? As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a magical twilight glow over the mural, a sense of fulfillment washed over Alex Rodriguez. He stood at the center of a scene bursting with life and connection. People mingled, and laughter filled the air, just like the vibrant colors splashed across the wall. This was what he had dreamed of. His heart swelled with pride, but also a hint of worry. The block party had sparked a flame of camaraderie, but could he keep it alive? "Alex," Sophia's voice cut through his thoughts. She bounced over, paint splattered and sprightly. "This is amazing. Everyone is so happy." The echoes of cheers from the gathered crowd confirmed her words. Parents smiled down at their children, who danced gleefully between the tables of paint and snacks. Old friends exchanged stories, rekindling connections that had been weathered by time. Alex realized this was about more than just a mural. It was about building a community fabric, stitching together individual stories into one strong narrative. As the festivities continued, his parents approached him, hesitant smiles stretching across their faces. Alex shifted his focus, eager to invite them into this world he had created. "Hey, come see what everyone's doing. They're adding their touch to the mural." He gestured toward the wall, now adorned with diverse colors and handprints, each representing a life and a story. His father chuckled, dipping his fingers into a nearby paint tray. "You really did it, son. You brought people together. We didn't think we'd ever see something like this in our neighborhood again." His heart swelled at his father's words. It meant everything to hear that kind of support, that acknowledgement of his efforts. The best part is that it's just the start. We can keep doing this, creating space for everyone. His mother stepped closer, taking in the mural filled with energy and life. "Alex, we're proud of you. You've shown us what it means to follow your heart," she said softly, the weight of her previous doubts lifting like a fog. With every heartfelt moment shared, Alex felt like the rest of the world melted away. He caught sight of Sophia bounding toward him, her hands stretched wide. Can we paint more tomorrow? I want to add my family's stories. Absolutely. The more stories, the better, he replied, laughter bubbling within him. Their dreams were weaving together, forming a collaborative tapestry just as vibrant as the mural itself. As the evening continued, familiar faces emerged from the shadows, friends, neighbors, those who once felt distant. They all came forward to contribute their voices and visions to the mural, turning it into a living testament of resilience and community. For every paint stroke, stories were shared. For every handprint, connections deepened. Amid the joyous whirlwind, Alex began to feel a powerful realization igniting inside him. This was a movement. It wasn't just about one mural. It was the start of a series of transformations within the town and within him. The seeds of love and connection had taken root, and he was determined to nurture them. As the laughter faded and the night deepened, Alex stood back to admire the mural, a chorus of colors shining in the soft glow of lights strewn above. Each face, every story brought life to the canvas, mirroring the vibrancy of the community. His heart raced with possibility, the air thick with promise. Then, the moment he had been both dreading and anticipating presented itself. Lost in imagination, he looked toward the horizon and saw more than just paint on a wall. He saw discussions being sparked about the importance of art. He envisioned workshops for kids who wanted to express themselves, gatherings for families to share stories and dreams. This could be a safe space, he thought, that a nudging voice whispered in his mind. You're ready for this. You're doing this for them, for you. The self-doubt that had chased him faded, replaced by a suitable sense of purpose. One by one, townsfolk gathered around, eyes gleaming with excitement. It hit him then that this was more than art. It was connection, it was hope. Alex knew he was no longer just a dreamer, but a catalyst for change. Tomorrow we start planning, right now, he announced, raising his arms to gather the crowd's attention. They turned to him with open hearts. Let us create a community that thrives together. Let us run workshops, create community events, and keep this love flowing into the future. Cheers erupted, filling the night air, and tears of joy pricked at the corners of Alex's eyes. The love shared that night wasn't just about the paint on the walls, it was about hearts rejoining, dreams unfolding, and people growing together as one. In that defining moment, Alex realized he had transcended not only the struggles of his own heart, but had guided others through theirs as well. He could finally see it. His journey was not a fight against the weight of doubts anymore. It was a celebration of perseverance, resilience, and a bright, united community. As the night wound down and bedtime stories echoed in the distance, Alex felt deep, fulfilling joy. He could be an artist, a leader, a voice that echoed hope. And every person he painted with would remain part of this incredible legacy. This was only the beginning. This was transformation, and Alex stood at the very heart of it, ready for whatever came next. Now, dive into the vibrant journey with us. You need to subscribe now so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that will inspire you. Leave a like now to help fuel this journey and feed the algorithm so others can join us. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this powerful ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this amazing transformation. Let's spread the message of hope and community together.